Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. I gotta remember what game we played last week, but we're just getting set to continue New Game November tonight, as we are playing Transformers: The Deck Building Game by Renegade Game Studios, as Philip Reynolds stops by to join us here. Just came to say hi is all. Well, hopefully you'll stay for a little bit, Philip. Looks like you might have something going on tonight. Anywho, we were playing G.I. Joe. That's right. I'll catch you later, Philip. Pity you can't stick around tonight. Our goal in this one is to defeat our 3 bosses in this game that are going to be somewhere in the deck. The other way the game can end is, if I can ever find it here, when all 3 bosses have been defeated, or when the main deck is empty and a card needs to be added. So if we defeat the bosses, we win. If the deck's empty when we need to draw, we lose. Or there might be a way that we can still lose. Looks like in cooperative solo, if any player controls 5 or more damage, so that's another way we could potentially lose. Defeat all 3... Or when a card needs to be drawn, it needs to be added to the matrix, or basically when something needs to screw with the matrix and there isn't anything there. So this is admittedly my very first time ever playing this game. I have liked G.I. Joe the Deck Building Game on the channel before, so hopefully this will be somewhat similar to that. Let's meet our 2 characters. Both of them start in Alt mode. We are taking out Optimus Prime for one, of course. When you flip an adversary, +1 power, and you may transform prior to the ambush. When battling adversaries, -1 power. Looks like it costs 2 power, presumably, to transform him. Looks like move value. Oh, the cost is 1 energon to transform, which are these pink cubes, and everybody starts with 2 of those. As for the other character that we're playing with RC, who looks like she's got 3 move. When battling adversaries, -1 power. So, I think we are all set. Let's jump into the action. We'll start off with Prime's turn. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got our courage. So we've got our starter cards, which have looks like they give what they've got on the side here. So we also have to start on our first turn by teleporting you'll teleport to any space on the matrix. We have to use move and or card effects to flip cards in the matrix. So we're going to teleport Optimus right here. So we will start off with using our 1 patrol, which says we can flip a card in an adjacent space face up, and we get 1 move. So we'll flip this card over. We will find an Energon Drill for 3. It's a technology, gain 2 Energon. If you're on a site, gain 3 Energon instead. Now, presumably we'd have to move to the card by spending a move, and then we can buy that card probably. Right? From cards or play and or your card's alt mode to move from space to space. So I will actually... I'm actually going to use one of the moves on Prime to transform. We still have a move from the patrol, so here we'll find Kickback, which is an adversary. 1 power, 2 attack, and 1 move. So I will transform. Since I flipped an adversary, I will transform into Optimus Prime on this side. Each Autobot I play during my turn has +1 power. I can spend an Energon to draw a card, and block at range 2 may be used during any player's turn. So now resolving the ambush. Let's see. So when an adversary is revealed or 1 or more Autobots, okay. So we draw a card from the encounter deck. Here we'll find, and that's from the top, the adversary can't be battled this turn. So that's undermining us. That's delightful. So we can't even deal with him this turn. Alright, so we had the move from Patrol. I'm going to use one of the move from Prime. Actually, I used the move from Prime. So I'm going to use the Patrol move to move over to the Energon Drill. At least I'm presuming that I have to be on the space to buy the card. Spending power to buy non-adversary cards. So I've got a total of 4 power from the Courage, which I will use 3 of it to buy the Energon Drill. And then I've got 1 more left, which is probably going to go to waste, I think. So yeah, the end of the turn is going to be over. So we'll draw a new card from the Matrix. And then we'll discard everything in hand. And then we'll draw back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Alright, so Prime's done. We'll move over to RC for her turn. Let's see, what kind of hand does she have? Okay. So it looks like it's mostly a move hand, but I'm going to teleport her into this corner of into that corner of the Matrix. Then she'll have 1 move from reserves, which if I control 3 or fewer Energon, I'll give her an Energon, which I will. That'll give her more move. So then we've got 5 energy and an attack. So I'll use the move from reserves. Wait a minute. Oh. I'll use the move from her reserves to flip this card over. Here we'll find Dropship for 5. You may move target character up to 2 spaces. And we actually have exactly 5 power. That also gives her 3 power. We've got the 1 attack. That's going to go to waste, but I will use the 5 power to grab the dropship. Then that'll end RC's turn. We'll draw a new card. We'll put a new card in the Matrix. Then we'll draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we only needed to destroy from the refill the Matrix. Okay, so if there are no empty spaces to refill. Right. So we're back over to Prime at this point. Let's see. Presumably we need 2 power to flip over. Presumably that means we need 2 power. Hang on. Let's see. I'm just looking here at something. I wish there was a layout on, the anatomy of the cards. Okay, so the range of the cards power and block. Power value of the card, move value of the card. Okay. So I would need 3 power to defeat Kickback. That wouldn't add him to the deck, though, would it? Battle adversary cards. Actually, theoretically, we could move over there and probably take him out. So, yeah, we'll start off with a fix to move back over to Kickback. Then I'll play reserves. So that gave me the move from Kickback. I'll use the reserves to gain an Energon. Then, so if we move back onto the space, typically in order to buy or battle a card, you must be in that card's space. That's what I thought. Okay. So I've got 4 power here and 1 attack. Actually, that gives me 1 range, I think. Is what that is. The range of the power cards, power and block. So I theoretically have to be in the space, but since I've got 4 power, I will use 3 of it to defeat Kickback. That doesn't add into my deck, I don't think, though. That's the other thing that I need to figure out here. Okay. Let's see here. Just looking at something. Okay, now that you're in bot mode. Let's see. Give me 4 power total. That still doesn't explain if the... Okay, so let's see. Dealing with a card. Confrontation. Oh, I think I need to be able... Oh, no, I don't need to be able to confront the adversaries. Okay. Yeah, an attack is indicated by the word attack on an encounter card. You're attempting to defeat that adversary, and that power must be spent. The adversaries you battle and defeat don't go into your deck. Okay, so the reward from Kickback in our case is we gain a VP and draw a card, which means we'll shuffle this back up. I'm shuffling Optimus Prime's deck. We still have 1 power floating. Okay, that's another courage. So now we've got 2 power floating. So with 2 power floating, actually we've still got a move, which I'm going to use that. Actually, I'm going to use the move here to move over here. And then 2 power floating, I think, is going to be... I think I'm just going to grab a transform and roll out since I'm fresh out of move. That'll be the end of my turn. I'll move all of this back to the discard pile. Actually, we refill the matrix first. And now I'll draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we'll be over to RC's turn. RC, we'll see what she's getting up to momentarily. Let's see. She's got 2 move, which will start by using we'll start by using this move to flip over this card, so she will find. Energon Mine, small. It's a site. Place 8 Energon from the general supply on this card. Pay X move to gain X Energon from this card. When it's empty, destroy it. So I'll get my 8 Energon. Six, 7, and 8. Right there. So that's the 1 move spent. I've got a fix. And I've got 3 move from RC as well, along with 3 power. So I'm going to start with... Let's go ahead and use the move from fix to move over to here. Then I'll use a move from RC to flip over a card. So here we'll find Optimus Prime for 5, Robot Autobot. You may put 1 Autobot from your discard pile on top of your deck. Gain 2 VP and draw a card. 3 power, 2 range, 1 move. And then I'm going to move over here, and I'll use my last move to flip this card over. So this card will find Prowl, another Autobot. If you thwart a scheme this turn, gain 2 VP. 2 power, 2 range, 2 move. Unfortunately, RC is out of move. And that 3 power... I think that 3 power is ultimately going to go to waste here. Yeah, it'll have to go to waste. We are ending the turn, so we've got a space here. We've got no space, so we have to destroy a card from the deck. We're not destroying Bombshell, actually. You may move target character within range up to 1 space. Players can't assist this turn. The reward is to gain 2 VP and draw a card. So what happens when this comes out? Presumably, if the active card is a boss. Okay. So if it's... must choose and destroy any card in the... oh, and any card in the matrix that is not an adversary, that's not a visible adversary or scheme. I guess we're going to destroy Prime. So, whoops, now we know what that card is going in. Adversary is revealed this way. Okay. So we're over to Prime next. Who's got 1 move and 4 power plus an Energon drill to gain 2 Energon. If you're on a site, gain 3 Energon instead. I'm going to use the move to flip over this card, so we are flipping over Shrapnel, and we're getting ambushed. The first time you defeat an adversary this turn, gain 1 victory point. So we're getting ambushed. Let's see what we're dealing with in the encounter. What we're dealing with here. Attack, destroy the top card of your deck. Oh, fantastic. So that's an EMP. Which means we need to shuffle this up. Fortunately, we've got the power that we can take him out. And we're probably going to have to. Alright, so we are destroying a Courage. Worst cards I could have lost than a starter card. But we will use the 4 power to take out Shrapnel. Let's see, then we have a move along with a flip an adjacent card face up. We'll go ahead and flip this card up. So we're flipping up. Military Airstrike for 3, it's an ally. Start a turn, you may destroy 1 card in hand. When bought or gained, put into play. Okay, and then the move is going to move us back. Actually, it's going to move us up there, so we have the potential of buying that on Prime's next turn, depending on what comes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. So we'll move over to... actually, we need to replace the Matrix. Now we'll move over to Arcee, who still has not been able to transform yet, and I forgot to draw up her new hand. Whoops. All right, I'll see to that here, though. Okay. Gross. Well, I'll start off by using the 4 power in Arcee's hand to buy Prowl. Then I'll use the move to move down here. That'll end her turn. We'll replace the card from the Matrix. 1, 2, 3. We'll replace the Matrix. That. Then we'll move back over to Prime's turn. I should probably start using some of this Energon, especially since I'm going to get... Right. So let's start with... I'm going to use the Energon first to draw a card. Okay. Then I'm going to play a transform and roll out. I may transform. I can use that as an assist for +1 power as well. That gives me 1 of each. Let's go. I think we... Are we going to transform? I think we are going to transform so I can get some movement around, so I can move around and reveal some of these spaces. We do have 1 move there. 2 from reserves. I've got 4 Energon, so I don't gain any more. So I've got a total of 5 move, 4 power, and a range. So I'll start off by using the fix move to move over to RC. Then I'll use another one to flip this card to search, which will flip this card face up, and here we'll find Kyle Pennington, an ally, ongoing. Once during each player's turn, if you're confronting or assisting, target card you control has +1 power. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. I think I will go ahead and grab that. Okay. Then I'll use Transform and Rollout to move over to this space. RC's still here. Then I'll use a move from Prime to flip this card over, so we will find Sparkplug Witwicky. Ally, start of turn, put 1 starter from your discard pile into your hand. Oh, he goes into play. Ongoing once during each turn. If you're confronting or assisting, target card you control has +1 power. Okay. And that... Right, that's an ongoing, so that'll stay in play. Let's put that down here, I guess. Let's see. So we've still got 2 more power since I bought Kyle Pennington. I'm going to use the last move to move over here. And then the last 2 power will buy a Transform and Rollout. Seems like allies can't get destroyed in this game, so they might be exceptionally powerful. Excuse me. Then we need to refill the matrix right on top of RC. I'll draw a new hand for Prime, or for Optimus Prime. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay, and then we'll move over to RC with her turn. So she's got 3 move from being in her alt form. Reserves will give her another Energon. Let's see. Patrol will give her another Energon, but I'm going to let her flip a card face up first. So here, well, actually I'll give her another move, but we'll flip this card face up from Patrol. We're finding Scrapper. If you block for another player, gain 1 VP. It's a robot Decepticon. Gain 1 VP and destroy a starter you control. We need 4 power to deal with it. Question is, can we get to 4 power? Yes, we can, actually. And we've got range to deal with it. But I'm going to need to transform RC to do that first. Fortunately, I've got the Energon, so I will spend the Energon and we'll take our first look at RC in her transformed form. The first time you play a maneuver during each player's turn, draw 1 card. Energon for +1 power, and reveal the top 2 cards of your deck for 2. Draw 1 and destroy the other. Then I'll play out the 4 power, and because we revealed that way, I don't think we get ambushed. Yeah, I don't excuse me. I don't think by using a patrol to reveal the card, we get the... I don't think we get attacked by doing that. So I'm going to go with... My instincts are telling me that we don't, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to use the 4 power and a range to get rid of Scrapper. Then we destroy a starter we control. Actually, she's got all starters in her hand, so I'm going to go with junking out one of the patrols. And then the rest of that will go to her hand. We'll refill the matrix, and then we'll be back over to Prime's turn shortly. Two, three, four, five. Okay, ooh, we're gonna have RC's gonna have a lot of power this turn. Over to Prime next. Prime. Let's see, is he going to transform? Yes he is. So he's going to transform back, mostly so reserves can give him the Energon back. We do have a move. Actually, I could have transformed and rolled out too. Could have done that either way. But transform and roll out, I'm not going to transform. I've got 1 range, 2 move, and 4 power. We'll start off by using a move to search here. So the card we're flipping over here is Verity Carlo for 4. Start of turn, you may discard your hand and draw 4 cards. I'm actually going to grab him as well. Let's see. And then 4 power. Yeah, everything else is going to go to waste there. That'll start speeding speeding Optimus through his deck a little bit more. Refilling the matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then we'll move over to RC's turn. Okay, she's going to start off with reserves to give her a move. I'll immediately use that move to search on her space. So here we will find Galactic Positioning System for 3. It's a technology. 2 power and a range. Draw a card for each adversary boss in the matrix. Right now we don't have an adversary boss yet. What we do have, though, is 7 power at a range with a range of 1. Now, does that range only get used once? Probably. Using range. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so she's also going to spend 2 power. Oh, that was destroyed. She's also going to spend 2 power, or 2 Energon, I should say, to reveal the top 2 cards of her deck. She'll draw 1 and destroy the other. So first card we'll look at is Fix and Prowl. Well, we're definitely going to keep Prowl. Yeah, we're going to keep Prowl and destroy Fix. We'll play Prowl out to give me 2 more power. So that'll bring me up to a total of 9 power. Let's go with... we've got 2 more move as well, which I'll use that to go here over to Spark Plug, and I'll reveal this card since I've got range to do it. Actually, I don't think I can use range to search. No, I can't. Nope, so I can't use range to search. Which means I might as well actually just stay there then and use my range to clear out this row. So that's the military airstrike and Sparkplug Witwicky for RC. Okay, so that'll refill the matrix. Then we'll move all of this over to the discard pile. Not that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And unfortunately, we just neutered Sparkplug because we're having to shuffle our discard pile. And 5. Ugh, not sure I like RC's hand here. Over to Prime, though. Let's see, what do I want to do with Carlo? Fortunately, that's a you may, but I'm not going to. Let's see, what to do. That would shuffle Prime's deck, actually. The question is, what card would I even want to keep here? I don't think I want to discard anything right now. I will spend an Energon to draw a card, though. Okay, I don't completely hate that. We'll start off with a Patrol. I'll use the move there to flip over. Actually, we can flip over a card in adjacent space face up, which I'll flip this card face up, so we'll find Ravage, which is a Decepticon for 2 power. Fortunately, we don't get ambushed. 1 power, 2 range, 1 move. Block, draw a card, then you may put 1 card from your hand into another player's hand. Gain 1 VP. We're definitely going to move over and obliterate him, though. And actually, in order to do that, I need to play... Actually, I can play one of these for a move. So I'm going to use Fix, and I'm going to flip this card over. So here we will find Helping Hand for 3. If you block for another player, gain a VP. 2 power, 2 range. Actually, we've got range too in our hand. I've got range in my hand, don't I? Yes, I do. So I'll start off with an Energon drill, which will give me 2 Energon. Which will give me a power. And I will get 4 more along with 2 range and another move. Because of the range, I will use 2 of the power to blast Ravage into next week. That'll give him a VP. That'll give us a VP. Let's see, that was that move. Let's see, that was 2 power. I'm going to use 3 more to buy this Helping Hand. One of the cards had +1 power, so maybe the Courage did, but I don't think it's really going to matter ultimately in the grand scheme of things. And I think that'll do it for the turn. So refill the Matrix. Oh wait, I was moving for RC. Hold on. Ravage is still out, but Prime would have been able to reveal that from here anyway. Actually, he had the range to do that anyway. So, yeah, he isn't able to buy it. So Prime isn't able to buy the Helping Hand, actually, which means hold on for a second. So we do still get to destroy Ravage, though. That is at least a thing we still get to do. Let's see, so those moves... I think I got confused because Prime is the art on the Helping Hand. So 3 power. Let's see, so I needed a move. Actually, this shouldn't have been revealed. So technically that shouldn't be revealed yet, but we might as well leave it there. Actually, I think... Well, I don't remember if RC revealed it on her turn or not, but whatever happened. So we didn't need the move thanks to the range. I will use the other move, though, to reveal this card. Reveal a desert, a site. Pay 3 power. Gain the top card of the main deck. If it's an adversary, destroy this site. Place an adversary in this space instead and resolve an ambush. Joy. Alright, well, might as well gamble. So 3 power. So 3 power we have left. We'll go ahead and try to gain the top card of the deck. It's a heroic effort for 4. 2 power, 1 range, +1 power for each adversary boss in play. Right now we haven't found anything. So that'll be the end of Prime's turn. We'll discard that. 1, And we'll shuffle all of this up. I'm just looking at my clock. I think I was expecting this to be a little bit quicker. But the feeling I'm getting out of this game is it's probably going to serve better as Saturday night, as weekend content. So if I were to put this in on a Sunday morning, I probably would like this a lot better. So it's not a case of not liking the game. Actually, it's pretty cool so far. I definitely like the variability in the Matrix, giving you all kinds of replayability, especially once you start adding expansions to it. I'm not sure which one I like more, Transformers or G.I. Joe. That's actually a tough call. One, two, three, four. Let's see what we ended up with in Prime's hand. Okay. And over to RC. Let's see what RC wants to get up to here. Looks like not much. She's got 5 power to spend, which I think that will be the helping hand for RC, and she'll grab a transform and roll out as well. We couldn't use her start of turn because she didn't have anything in the discard pile. She does now. Refilling the Matrix, and we'll draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, looks like we do have some move here. Okay. Back over to Optimus we go. Let's see. We're going to start with reserves for a move. I'm going to use that. We've got a transformer and roll out, which I will use to transform. Then we've got a fix, so I've got a total of 6 move this. Actually, I've got a total of 5 move this turn and 3 power. So let's go ahead and use the transform and roll out to move down here. 2 to search, which the card will search for here, is Teletran 1. 2 power, costs 4 to acquire, peek at 1 face-down card of the Matrix. Use an Energon, you and another player each draw 1 card. Then we will use that move to move back up here. And then we'll pay our 3 power to gain a card to gain the top card of the main deck. So here we'll gain. We're not going to gain anything, actually. We're getting Scavenger. So we destroy the site, place the adversary here instead, and resolve an ambush. So we just got ambushed. And for that we find lose to Energon. Actually, I think let me look here. It's indicated by the word attack. Player does not block the attack. Alright, so it looks like so he just loses to Energon. Okay. How do we gain damage? That's something I'm probably going to need to know here. I might gain these cards from various hostile effects. It'll probably say to gain a damage card. Okay, so yeah. We are out of power, which means I will have to discard all of this. And I may transform prior to the ambush, but I'm not going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that should obliterate all of this. So we'll move over to RC next with her hand. Let's see what RC's got. Let's see, can she get over and help Prime out this turn? She'd probably need to transform, but I think the answer to that is yes. Actually, she doesn't even need to move. So she's going to use a... Actually, we have to destroy a card in the Matrix unless it's a boss, because we didn't have anything to replace it with. So a Force Dome for 5 goes away. Okay, well, I'll start off with a dropship for 3 power. I can move target character up to 2 spaces. RC will choose herself, and then with the 3 power, she's going to obliterate Scavenger, which will give her an Energon. Let's see, then she will have reserves to give her, since I control 3 or fewer Energon, she'll gain 1. Then we've got Prowl. Let's see, which is 2 more move. So we haven't used the reserve move yet, surprisingly. And then we've got 4 more power and 2 more range. So I think with that in mind, so we've got a total of 9 power. Let's see, we haven't used any move yet, so I'm going to use 1 move to move up to the Energon Mine. Then, do I want to just clean it out here? That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point, is I want to just clean out the Energon Mine. That way I can replace more stuff in the Matrix, because we still need to find our first level adversary boss. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and just clean out the 1 power will go to waste, but I'll clean out the Energon. When empty, destroy this. Okay, then I'll use 2 Energon to reveal the top 2 cards of my deck. Actually, do I have any Energon abilities that I could use on any of my cards? That's only for a confront, so no. So I will use... Actually, I'll use 3 Energon to use both of her abilities. Since I've got 1 floating, I'll use 1 to get to 2, which will end up buying a transform and rollout. Then I'm going to use her other ability to reveal the top 2 cards of her deck, draw 1, and destroy the other. Alright, first card we have to look at is a Courage, which is a 1 power, and a Helping Hand. I'll keep the Helping Hand, destroy the Courage. And that'll be it for her turn. 1, 2. And we have to discard the Helping Hand. Okay. Back over to Prime. Okay, let's go. We'll start off with we'll flip a patrol. We'll use a patrol. We'll flip this card on top of. We'll flip this card so RC doesn't get ambushed if we're not ready for it. Bone Crusher. You avoid all ambushes you draw this turn, but fortunately we're at range 2 already. Reward is gain 2 VP and destroy a starter card we control. Okay. That will be a transform. We'll use a transform. Then I'll play Courage, Heroic Effort, and Energon Drill. The Energon Drill will give me 2 more Energon to bring me up to 5. Let's go ahead and use Patrol to search. So here we'll find Laser Break, which will let me which will give me +1 power, and I can transform prior to the ambush, which I will do. So we get ambushed, flight, and block. The attack is discard a relic in hand or one you control. If we control none, gain 1 damage instead. We don't control relics, so we gain a damage. Okay, but we have +1 power this turn, so I'll use the +1 power and transform and roll out to take out Laser Break. Actually, block on them says they probably block the attack. Actually, could we have blocked that? I don't think we had anything to block with, but I do have 2 Energon. I will spend 2 Energon to block, actually. I'm sitting on a boatload of Energon here, so I won't take the damage. Now I need to look for block on... So yeah, that means I don't take the damage. Okay, I need to find... block on them. That's not confronting a boss. Yeah, there's nothing here about explaining blocks on them. So I'm going to assume, so I think the way that probably works let's see. Okay, so this is still... Let's... Okay, so those are with adversaries on the keyword confront. That's still not explaining what the block is. Okay, so... or flight for that matter. I wonder if it's... Bumsy Sock asks if I like the artwork. The only deck builder you've played is Alien Encounters, which of course is great. I actually do like the artwork. I'll admit to not being the biggest Transformers fan in the world, but like I mentioned earlier, I'm actually surprised at how much I'm liking this one, even if I think the length of this video as I'm looking at it would be better suited to a weekend video. But yeah, we will go ahead and take out Laserbeak, which doesn't do anything except give us victory points. Let's see. I still have a move available, so I'll use an Energon on his ability to draw a card, which will give me 2 more power. Not that that's really doing anything for me here. Actually, the 2 power... we'll say the firepower... actually, we'll say the heroic effort's what I used. Then I'll move over to Bone Crusher, and I've got another 5 power to take him out as well. So that'll give him 2 VP and destroy a starter he controls, which will be the firepower going away. And I think that's it. One, 2. We'll shuffle these up. Actually, we need to remember to refill the matrix first. I want to see if I can go long enough to find the first boss in here. And then once I deal with that, once I deal with the first boss, I'm probably going to call it a night after that. I'm probably going to call it a stream after that. 3, 4, 5. We'll go over to RC next. She's got exactly... These should all be in her discard pile. She's got one move, so I'll use that to flip over this card. We will find... Brawl. If you're on a site, draw 2 cards, and it is an ambush, so RC will get attacked. RC will find... She's losing a victory point. Not that we were really... we're not playing with victory points in this game. But she does have 5 power, actually. She didn't play a maneuver this turn. She will actually take out Brawl outright. So how are you playing? Was it Trench Raid? Ride across no man's land to rescue a soldier. That looked like a good game. I actually don't have Trench Raid. You might be thinking of... You're probably thinking of somebody else, Bumsy. I don't own Trench Raid. It never really looked that interesting to me. I think we're going to have to call that a turn there for RC, so we'll replace the Matrix, and we'll draw back up. 1, 2. I'm not paying attention to Sparkplug or the military airstrike. I'm trying to think what other game I might have that involves crossing no man's land to rescue a soldier. I don't think there are any games, especially, I don't think there are any games that I have, and I own very few World War I games to begin with. This hand is serviceable-ish. Let's go over to Optimus Prime's turn and see what he's doing. He's got a total of 1 move, but that'll let me flip 2 cards over. So we'll start off by flipping this card over. So here we'll find Blitzwing. Oh, whoa. This is the level 2 boss already. Yikes. Reveal attack. Discard an ally you control, then resolve an ambush. Ongoing, you pay 2 more power to defeat other Decepticons. Yikes. Okay, that's problematic. Well, that's the level 2 boss already. We haven't even found the level 1 boss yet. And we are going to flip this card over as well. So here we'll find Repair Bay for 2. You may destroy 1 card you control, which I might as well use 2 power to get this, and I'll use 2 power to grab a transform and roll out. That'll be the end of his turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that'll give him 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with Pennington. Let's see what RC can get up to. I saw RC getting up to an obscene amount of power on her last turn, which she... she actually, I think, can defeat Blitzwing by herself. 2 more power to defeat other Decepticons. Yeah. And assist is... Yeah, the other players can't assist unless the battle is a confrontation. So how do we start a confrontation? We must confront them. So confrontation attacks, or confrontation effects on cards are attacks. So you've announced a confrontation, but you can discard blocks. Okay. So, looks like discard an ally you control, then resolve an ambush. So it looks like we have to play out everything and then go for it. So I'm going to play out Prowl for 2 power, 2 move, and 2 range. Actually, I wonder if I can attack that from... Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've got a whole bunch of Energon abilities here that I can use. I'll use this Energon to get to 7, and then I'll spend 2 more to look at the top 2 cards of my deck, see if I can find 1 more power. I probably can. First up is a Helping Hand, that'll do. And a Courage. I'll draw the Helping Hand, junk the Courage. I'll play the what do I do with her destroyed cards? I think I'm starting to move destroyed cards over here. She should have more destroyed cards than that. Unless I had inadvertently put them back in her discard pile, which I might have done. Anywho, so we do have plenty of power here. Looks like the only difference with Confrontation is presumably it ends your turn. So ignore Confrontation steps if this isn't a boss. Okay, so we're within range of... Okay, actually, since I am within range, does range count diagonal? If range does not count diagonal... orthogonal, okay. So I will use a move to move over to this space, and then RC's got range. She's actually got 3/5 range, so she can go after Blitzwing without having to move into his space. Right? Against each adversary player. Okay, so we should have done that. So discard an ally who controls, so each of them would have discarded an ally, then resolved an ambush. So we'll deal with that. Prime's ambush is going to be destroy a random card in your discard pile. So we'll remember that these... So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these weren't in... So Verity Carlo and the cards from his last turn weren't in his discard pile yet. So we'll destroy these, getting rid of a Repair Bay. Alright. So now those are in his discard pile. And that's for... I believe that's for both of them, right? Actually, he could block that, and he will. Let me just check here. So we start off with resolve an ambush if applicable. So this is still a reveal attack that we're dealing with. Actually, that's for an ambush. Oh, yeah, then resolve it as an ambush. Which boss reveal ambushes all adversaries. Okay, so I would have RC spend 2 Energon to block that attack. She's got plenty to spare. Alright, then it looks like even from range, she's got to attack. She's got to deal with the boss. So she'll draw a boss confrontation. She'll find attack. Destroy 1 card with cost 3+ you control. Oh, that's Prowl. That's problematic. Well, I think we still get the effect anyway, so that is Prowl. Well, actually, no. That's going to be the Helping Hand. So we've already counted its power. So we had 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. Confrontation. You may place assists whether you control damage or not. If your power total is not enough, which it is, after resolving all assists. Okay. So we have successfully defeated Blitzwing, which means he's out of the deck now. And on a confrontation, that would immediately end her turn. Now, at this point, we would draw up, but I'm seeing how long this game's running, so I'm actually going to call it a stream here. That'll do it for this playthrough of Transformers: The Deck Building Game. Actually, this is a lot of fun. I'm kind of surprised at how much I was enjoying this one. And as I was mentioning at the top, or actually probably earlier, the randomization of the matrix actually gives you a whole different game every time you play this. Which I actually kind of like. I kind of like having the layout as well, and it sizes up for... Does it size up for different player counts? Actually, yes it does. Right? Create... Oh yeah, it does. I think I like the theme is really a matter of personal preference, whether you like this one or G.I. Joe a bit better. I watched more of Transformers than G.I. Joe, but that's still not saying much because I didn't watch a lot of Transformers either when I was younger. But I do see playing this one again. I will probably feel a bit happier with it if I put it on a Sunday night. But I'm rambling at this point, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Sometime this weekend, I don't know exactly when yet, Mystical Munchies will be continuing out of the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook as we make the drink hot chocolate. It won't be in the usual Saturday morning spot because I will be traveling on Saturday morning. Sunday morning, we're not going to be playing Frostpunk, the board game. Instead, it's looking like I'm going to be doing the Christmas in Arkham campaign intro on Sunday morning. So if you want to know more about Christmas in Arkham, because it's already getting almost time for that, tune in on Sunday morning and we'll have the Christmas in Arkham campaign intro. Speaking of that, next week we'll actually be starting the Christmas in Arkham campaign with the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament. We'll set that up on Sunday. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.